I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Matthew Crocamo. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Yourself?
I'm excellent, my friend. Great pleasure to connect with you. Have a great conversation, I expect.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So what part of the world are you in right now?
I am right outside of Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, sweet. What does the temperature look like this morning?
I think winter is on the horizon and it's about to hit us hard. It's not quite there yet. We can still get away with some hoodies for the moment, but not too much longer.
All right. Well, Matthew, please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting.
I would say my creative inclinations as well as my health enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I've credentialed writer. I've been a creative ever since I could fit crayons into my chubby little fingers as a child. And about 5 years ago, I began my health journey when it really started to connect with me, the link between how you feel and the things you put into your body, especially all these refined sugars, fried foods, and especially the sugary drinks that are just standard fare for the landscape that we find ourselves in. And sometimes I feel like I am a sane man living in a crazy world when I see everybody just putting all these things into their bodies, and I just feel like it's not how it's meant to be necessarily. And I understand why people do that because of the busy world that we're in, and it is pretty much what's available everywhere we go. But I just want to empower people to take control of their health and their lives and realize that it doesn't have to, we don't have to be tired all the time. Once you get a certain age, you don't need to be living in the doctor's offices like so many people are these days. And hopefully do what little I can to influence the collective consciousness towards the demand for healthier things, and maybe hopefully influence that on a bigger scale eventually.
Yeah, well, you sound as though you've definitely gotten hit with a ton of the negative side in terms of what you're seeing, which is, it seems to me, on my visits, what America is built on.
Yeah,
Sugar.
yeah, it really, yeah.
Like I've seen sugar. I've seen oversized plates. I've seen things that seem to be more chemically derived than a physical product that grows.
Yeah,
It's scary.
yeah. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, it's a shame how things have been set up. How industries have to survive and meet and exceed these profit margins and everything. And sugar, unfortunately, is one of the easiest ways for businesses to do that and businesses to survive.
Yeah.
What part of the world are you in? Are you in Trinidad?
I'm in Trinidad.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, Trinidad.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. They got a lot more healthy food over there, I guess.
We do, but most definitely the TV and the communication thereof via American tuning, if you would, is definitely impacting how we eat in the Caribbean. And we're seeing it. Yeah, we're seeing the effects of it thereof. My wife, the reason I'm conversating the way I am, the knowledge base has definitely come from my wife and what she does. Like, she is the proficient nurse writer, so she writes with the idea of educating, encouraging, and empowering those, specifically around diabetes. So.
Oh wow, that's excellent. Yeah, I have some diabetes in my family.
Yeah, so yesterday was World Diabetes Day, the 14th of November. At the time of this recording is the 15th, but yeah, most definitely, she definitely shares a passion in that world. Now, I see on your podcast, right, the artwork there, who came up with that? It looks like a brain, and then it looks like a mouth, and then there's a broccoli. It looks like broccoli.
Yeah.
Is in there.
Yep. Yeah. That's me. I created that artwork. I've been artistically inclined way before I was a writer, and it's just the my focus on taking in good things physically and how it influences, your emotions and the way you think, and I mean it directly influences your brain. And I've especially fascinated with how your brain health affects the rest of your body, mentally and physically. And so that brain eating broccoli kind of speaks to my entire brand and everything, that I do, and my whole ethos and everything.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea of the brain eating broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah. I must say I'm scared by the teeth.
Yeah, it's a scary world out there.
Yeah. So the name of the podcast is Better Health, Better World.
Better health and world.
Better health and world. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I tried in my first podcast maybe 2 years ago. I've been doing it regularly every week for the last probably year and a half, I would say.
Are you having fun doing that?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
It's helped me kind of further my own health journey as well. It's helped me keep myself on track to a point.
What's one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Over the last 3 years, well, I do another podcast that's a mixed martial arts podcast. There's some overlap with the health in that. And I also like the idea of speaking to a variety of topics. I'm interested in a lot of different things. The health is the main thing that I'm interested in, but I like the thought of talking to people on a variety of topics for one reason, just to explore the world at large, and also to maybe hopefully suck people in through other topics and get them to listen and live more healthful lives.
Love that. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I am contributing to humanity and doing at least getting on the way to doing as much as I can towards realizing my potential and helping other people realize their potential, in this human experience.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like fun. Well, amazing audience. We are live with Matthew Crocamo. Crocamo. There we go. Now I'll get it.
You just call me at Matthew J. Better. That works too.
All right, cool. You're good. Crocamo. I got it. So yeah, we're live with Matthew Crocamo, and again, he is the podcast host of Better Health and World. You can check him out at betterhealthandworld.com. Matthew, let's switch gears for a moment and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful warm blue Caribbean water. Matthew, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory, I remember at my mother's house, my maternal grandmother's house, being in the powder room in her basement, and I had one of those cheap paper elastic birthday hats on, and it was He-Man Masters of the Universe little thing in front of my head, and I remember seeing myself in the mirror with the He-Man hat on.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So which birthday was it?
I want to say third.
Okay, it's all right. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's something to do with timing. I guess it's a significant event because it was around a birthday, had all kinds of family present. I've always been inclined towards the fictional heroes. Maybe it was speaking to my strong sense of justice.
Yeah. I love how you connected that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I never even thought of it until now, to be honest with you. Thanks for helping me get there.
You're welcome. Can I add something to it as well?
Please.
It's intriguing that it's your birthday. Like, I've had so many memories expressed of birthdays, but it's intriguing that the cake isn't there. The sugars.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the cake. That's right. I pushed it out because I knew it was bad. Right.
Matthew, if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
12 it's funny because that's when I was probably first starting to listen to music and didn't listen to it too much. I was a big fan of sitcoms. So when I was 12, one of the first bands and songs that I got into was Stone Temple Pilots, Flies in the Vaseline, or The Big Empty was their song that was on the Crow soundtrack. Remember, those were one of the first. That was the first band and some of the first songs that got me listening to music in the first place.
Sweet. Well, my friend, we have now arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Matthew?
I am.
Matthew, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Well, I have a 9-year-old son. He also is driven to create content. He's an aspiring YouTuber. Right now he's into video games and stop motion animation, but he's got a great voice. He's a big fan of heroes like I am and justice. So I think he is probably the most likely person to carry the torch. Just trying to instill those healthful ways onto him, be they physical, mental, emotional, all that.
Are you married?
I'm not.
So you have one son. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Probably. That's probably about right.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less.
After 1001 conversations, Matthew, in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And I believe that you should consider having your mission statement as an individual, which I call your own unique real statement. Again, yours. If you, Matthew, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
I would say it is to live as healthful as possible, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to maximize the human experience.
Love it. Matthew, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Keep your back straight, keep your toes straight, keep your muscles the right length, take care of yourself and everybody else.
Love it. Matthew Crocamo. I got it, right?
You got it. Crocamo.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm so used to either way. You can call me whatever you want.
Hey, Matthew, this is a great pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much. It was great talking to you, Angel.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.